gynecologist, an obstetrician, 60 plus. Happy to be here with young crowd. What is your impression of an obstetrician or a gynecologist? A doctor who delivers babies. Our job, push, push, it's coming out. Just two more push. The baby is out. Give the good news and be happy about it. And that was what I was doing. But it did not interest me much. What interested me was this: the birth of Louis when I was still studying. Imagine creating a life in a laboratory, taking out an egg, taking the sperm, creating that embryo, and see that embryo grow into a human being. And that's what interested me. But fortunately or unfortunately, I was in a small town of India called Anand. I'll just give you a brief about IVF. We give injections to the female to produce eggs. Those eggs are removed, fertilized with the husband's sperm in a petri dish, and the embryo that is created is put back into the uterus of that female to grow inside and deliver into a baby. 150,000 population, a rural area, nothing available in the 90s when I thought of doing it. If I needed double distilled water, I had to run to Ahmedabad for injections, wait at the railway station to get it from Mumbai. And there were contemporaries and everyone who said, it's not succeeding in metros, how will it ever succeed in Anand? But fortunately, with our passion, I remember my embryologist from Lambretta school early in the morning at 5 o'clock. We used to, because odd cases, because 9 o'clock, my bread and butter, push will start. So 5 to 9, I did the IVF. Ultimately, we got the first IVF baby in 2000. Till then, everything was fine because IVF was a common thing happening by then all over the world. But imagine if that embryo, I put it in another woman's uterus, which is the host or the surrogate mother, with the condition that she will carry for 9 months, deliver it, and hand it over to that couple. If we think of it, how is it possible? I carry somebody's baby for 9 months and I just give it away? Yes, that also puzzled me. But what happened was that I'll tell you now. In 2002, surrogacy became legal in India. And that was the time when I was having my lunch in the afternoon and I got a call from UK on landline, of course, saying that, Doctor, we have heard you are doing IVF. We are in UK. My daughter-in-law is from Anand and she needs surrogacy. Can you help? I said, send me a detailed history. No email, a letter, postal letter arrived, where they mentioned that she is born without uterus and she'll need surrogacy. I was very simple that I was not very comfortable with it. I said, okay, go ahead, find your surrogate, come to me. I'll put that embryo, you do everything. 3 months, not a single surrogate from India they could find. And ultimately, the girl's mother agreed to become a surrogate for her daughter. What we know is that my mother delivered me, and my mother was delivered by my maternal grandmother. Very simple, all of us are the same. But these two kids over here are the genetic children of a mother, their mother, but their birth mother is their grandmother. So the grandmother delivered the grandchildren. For me, it was good that the mother was happy, grandmother were happy, and the family was happy. But what happened? All over the world, as soon as this news was announced, that first grandmother surrogacy of Asia has delivered the twins, there were opinions, judgments. How is it possible? No, this cannot be done. Doctors are playing gods. The children are getting confused. It is unethical. And it sparked a row of controversy. So that was also taken by Inside Outside in the BBC, where they had a story on this because this was something very different. And to my surprise, when the twins were born,
grandmother who gave birth to her own daughter's children. When twins
Suggestion: find someone from within the family.
It is unusual, but like it is possible also. That's what.
So that was the only answer I could give, that it is unusual, but it is possible. And to my surprise, when 2018 these kids visited me, they were not at all confused. They were very thankful to their mother, to their grandmother, and to the doctor who delivered them. So after this, a lot of people started approaching me for surrogacy, and I was confused whether it's right, whether it's wrong. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Because there were various opinions. And if you go by the judgment of the others, you cannot do it. You have to listen to your own heart, to your own conscience. And I had so many patients approaching me who were paraplegic, who were cancer patients, who were cardiac patients, who were cirrhotic patients, who genuinely needed surrogacy, otherwise they had no option to have a baby. And there were a lot of women approaching me to become a surrogate, which was life changing for them, helping a couple, bringing a baby, sending their daughter to medical school, educating her as a teacher, starting a small business, buying a land. So many positive outcomes. And that is when I felt, when I had a sleepless night and when somebody had commented that doctors are doing as a business, I used to feel uncomfortable. I said, and it is a tough job. The baby is here, parents are elsewhere. Is the surrogate eating? Is the baby fine? What's happening? Endless questions you have to answer. You imagine putting your baby one day also in some stranger. That is what we were facing. But yes, 2 decades went on, and there in 2000, I get an email from Oprah's office where they said that, Doctor, we want to do a study on what you are doing and put it on our show. So I was definitely elated that Oprah Winfrey has contacted.
How far would you go to have a baby of your own?
So on 9th October 2007, this message I got, and they had come here, the team, for 4 days in a town of Anand as an investigative journalism. They went back very happy, and Oprah gave the title, One Woman Helping Another Woman. I love it. And this gave me even more confidence that we are definitely helping women. In 2008, I landed up in a legal problem. Actually, there was no legal problem. There was a lot of misinterpretation, lot of miscommunications, and a case that was hyped up that Manji is an abandoned child. She was never an abandoned child. The father and the grandmother were here. They got divorced, unfortunately, during pregnancy. And I met Manji in Japan, and this is Manji very recently, where I regularly get pictures from her. She's a Japanese citizen and she's staying in Japan. But due to some misinterpretation, this case was hyped up. Then there was a two-act play, there was the House of Surrogates, and National Geographic did a very good documentary on Womb of the World, where they quoted as the surrogacy hub and the womb of the world of. But I tell you, it was not an easy journey. Criticisms, somebody would praise it who needs it. Those who don't need it would just give you a nasty comment. To my colleagues also, they would say, how can you do this, doctor? I feel very uncomfortable. And 10 years down the line, the same would pick up the phone and call me. I'm doing my first case of surrogacy. Can you guide me? So this is the hypocrisy of society. Now, to read these titles, how would you feel if you are on a front page mentioned as baby factories? Is this a factory? People don't understand. People don't know the feeling of the mothers who are childless, and people don't understand what the surrogates go through. So these all you have to face till 2009 December. I land up as the 25 most controversial people of India. The title was, You Can Love Them, You Can Hate Them, but You Cannot Ignore Them. I don't know what percentage loved me, but I know definitely a huge percentage could have hated me for this. Anyway, but nobody can ignore. So I said, okay, let us go ahead. What we are doing, there are many other personalities over here who were also stamped as controversial that year. 2013, I was invited for Heart Talk at the BBC. And my patients from UK just discouraged me. Doctor, avoid going there. It's really, really hard. And I said, no, I should go and try. I went there. The driver who was driving me to the BBC studio said, you want to still cancel it? I said, why? It's very tough. You'll come out crying. When I was sitting for the makeup, that was this white British lady who was saying, you are from India. You know Sachin Tendulkar. My kids are big fan of Sachin Tendulkar. I said, you are talking about Sachin Tendulkar. I am worried about the talk which is going to happen in 10 minutes. He said, last I dressed up somebody from India was a minister who comes in a dhoti. I understood. I said, okay. I went inside and the anchor was set in front of me. We are starting in 2 minutes. We are going to talk about the work you do and it will go unedited. Start. And the amount of grilling for half an hour, but I was very satisfied that I was able to convince him also that this is the way of life for many a couples who don't have children and for many a women who want to be a surrogate for a life-changing situation. Then came the lockdown thing, 2020. We know we all had suffered a lot. But imagine 100 surrogates pregnant, couples from all over India and outside India, and the babies getting delivered here. The world on a no traveling, borders stopped, no flights, no railways running, and no hotels work. Babies getting delivered, couples who are having babies after 21 years, and they are with me over here. Number of phone calls, what's happening? Manpower shortage. We could not get even nannies to take care of the surrogates who were, the babies who were quarantined. The oldest baby we handed over to the couple was 3.5 months old. And even when the couples arrived from outside the state, there were no hotels. So we had to arrange for the flats. The society people would allow. Everybody was worried that we'll not allow anybody outsider in our society. So convincing them, going to the civic authorities, convincing was a real nightmare with surrogates with number of babies at the time of COVID. But thanks to my wonderful team, my neonatology department, we could sail through and we handed all the babies, some 8 weeks old, some 2 months, 3 months old, 3.5 was the oldest for a Pune couple, which we took care of. And also, COVID got lot of deaths during that time. And this is a boy, only child of their parents, who was lost in the second wave of COVID due to COVID. Within 2 months, the couple approached me. The wife had lost her uterus hysterectomized. Said, I want my baby back. And it was a surrogate who helped them. And now they have a beautiful 4-month-old baby with the help of surrogacy. So do you call this unethical? Or do you call this happiness to that couple and this beautiful child in this world a boon for the society? And that is what I have been doing. If you call it breaking the archetype, yes, it is. But if you call it, it could be a way of life for some people, it is. Now I am trending into one more controversial. So 2 decades of breaking the archetype in surrogacy, and just few years back, I got interested into stem cell therapy. If you ask, many will say that it's just for money. There is nothing that stem cells can do. It can harm, not help. There are some who says yes. So I am in that group where I know that stem cell is a promising future. Though I may be breaking the archetype now, treating the infertile patients with stem cells is going to be the next way ahead, and it can treat lot of diseases also. It can take a decade or a two, but this is the time when I will be off-roading and driving on a difficult road to get there where I feel that stem cell is going to help the people. So when I am talking about your journey, my journey, there is one which you can just go ahead on a smooth road, no problem. Like people say, get a government job, be happy, and your life is done. Or go off-roading, what is trending now, where there will be lot of hurdles. There will be lot of challenges. But it is ultimately very gratifying. It is not at all easy, but it is possible. Don't be afraid of making a mistake, because I have also made mistakes. Only when you make mistake you learn something. Don't worry about other people's judgments. If you think you want to do something different, if you are thinking outside the box, try to implement it, but be strong. Be ready for failures and learn from those failures and move ahead. There is nothing that can stop you, even if you are breaking the archetype. But yes, one thing we should always remember, that it has to be in an ethical, which is going to help everyone, not hurt anyone. And at the end of the day, when you go to sleep, you have a good night's sleep. But don't dare to venture, don't be afraid to venture. Go ahead, do something different. If you have got an idea, at the most you will fail. Somebody will laugh at you. You feel even worried that what will happen if I fail? People will laugh at me. No. Even if they laugh, you understand that I have tried this, it was different, it didn't, maybe another thing can work. Or if it works, people will criticize you. Oh, nothing like everybody is going to come and praise you that, oh, you have done something very wonderful. You be ready. And they have their right to be judgmental. They have their right to give their opinion. But it is us who we want to know that what we want to take it from there to improve and what we want to just ignore. So I tell you all, my dear friends, I would like to say that breaking the archetype is a way to go ahead. And if you are do it with full passion. Be focused and go ahead, and you can break the archetype and do something different from the others. Thank you.